Here we have Steve King, Republican House Representative for the last 20 years from the state of Iowa, a world-class racist that is now apparently in trouble because his own party is trying to get rid of him. I guess he's too racist even for them. So as the news reports, they're looking for a way to get rid of him in the next round of elections. Here's his chart, no time known. The moon will be in Gemini regardless. And this is likely where his problems are, astrologically speaking. At minimum, Venus is getting a Neptune square this year from Pisces. And that alone can be enough to sink someone's fortunes. But the moon might be forward a few degrees, in which case it would also be caught in the Neptune square. Neptune is not all that challenging in this chart. My suspicion is that his racism is likely connected to the Pluto-Mars square. Pluto is notorious for that kind of thing. He also has a geometric Saturn-Sun square, but it's the Pluto-Mars that is likely responsible. This guy was born with a measure of pretty good luck. His Jupiter, you can see, is in that hemisphere pretty much all by itself, so it acquires a lot of strength. And it was a fairly stationary Jupiter, not as stationary as Trump's, but stationary within a few days of birth, which makes a planet very strong. And whenever it's Jupiter, you get an automatic measure of good luck. He's been in Congress 20 years, so that has to be considered a reasonably successful career. Although with this guy, his approach is absolutely brutal. And to be honest, I genuinely hope that the Republicans are successful in getting rid of him, because he really is the worst of the worst. He has said some unbelievably inflammatory things, and it's basically white supremacy. He talked about Putin being the leader of the free world because there are no black and brown people in Russia, and he has said things on TV, looking straight into the camera, that are disgustingly racist. And so I would be very happy to see him disappear. Now, in terms of the progressions, if you look at this chart, you see the natal positions. We're pointing to this Gemini area, getting a challenge from Neptune, from Pisces. That can be enough. I didn't include the Mercury, but probably should, because it's close enough to where Neptune is to still count. But another way to look at it is through the progress positions of planets. And Jupiter has to be considered his greatest asset. Very strong Jupiter, trining the Sun too. If we move this chart forward to his progress position as of his birthday tomorrow, which is, he'll turn 71, we see that Jupiter is at 25 degrees, just under 25 degrees Capricorn. And this adds to his problems, because his strongest planet is dealing with a conjunction from Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto. He probably can get around the Saturn and Jupiter, but not the Pluto. Pluto is the tricky planet in this chart by way of its natal square to Mars. So that is likely what is contributing to his demise in 2020, which I think will be a very good thing. However, I have to end with the proverbial however, because he is running against 4 other contenders, and with so many people running at the same time, the vote could be split, and so it's possible that it'll benefit King, and he will escape his possible demise. In that case, too bad for Republicans and too bad for everyone. perhaps we can console ourselves knowing that the House of Representatives is in Democratic hands and will likely continue to be in Democratic control for years to come.